So, you're thinking about taking the US CMA exam, or maybe you've already started studying? Well, let's be real. The US CMA exam can seem a little intimidating. Don't worry though. Today, we are going to break down top 5 things that you absolutely need to know about the US CMA exam questions to set you up for success. But before we get into the details, let's have some fun with a small little quiz. We will test your knowledge about the US CMA exam structure and then give you some valuable tips for acing it in the later part of the video. You have got 10 seconds to answer each question and we'll go over to the answers together at the end of the timer. So, make sure to make the guess and wait. Ready? Let's get started. Here's your first question. How much of the US CMA exam scores comes from the multiple choice section? You have got 10 seconds, so think fast. Alright, time's up. The answer is B, 75%. The multiple choice questions make up to 75% of your total score. So it's super important to do well in this section. Next up is a true or false. The statement is, if you score below 50% on the multiple choice section, you can still proceed to the essay section. And time's up. The correct answer is false. If you score below 50% on the multiple choice section, you won't even be allowed to proceed to the essay section. So, make sure you're nailing those MCQs. And the last question. Which of the following is not a type of essay question in the US CMA exam? And time's up. The correct answer is drawing a diagram. US CMA essay questions focus on written responses such as drafting memos, performing calculations, and analyzing concepts. How did you do? Got all the answers right? Don't worry if you missed a few though. You're about to get all the important details about the US CMA exam structure and tips to help you those tricky questions. So, let's dive into the top 5 things that you need to know about the US CMA exam questions. And trust me, these tips will make a huge difference in the way you approach the exam. Now, you already know that the exam is divided into 2 parts. Part 1 consists of 100 multiple choice questions for which you have 3 hours to complete. These questions account for 75% of your total score. The essay section, which is in the part 2, is made up of 2 questions. You will have 30 minutes per question and this section contributes to 25% of your total score. That said, before you can move on to the essay section, you will need to put in a lot of solid effort on the multiple choice questions. Since they account for 75% of your total score, scoring below 50% on them means you won't pass the exam. So, even if you're a genius at writing essays, if you don't do well on the MCQs and score under 50%, you're not going to pass. Here's a tip for you. Practice multiple choice questions regularly before the exam and not just the essay portion. Knowing the question format and content will help you answer more efficiently on the exam day itself. During the exam, manage your time wisely by aiming to answer all questions even if you're unsure about some. Eliminate obviously incorrect options and make educated guesses when necessary. This combination of practice and time management will increase your chances of scoring well on the multiple choice section, ensuring you can move on to the essay portion. Now, let's talk about the essay section. Since the IMA wants to assess not only the candidate's knowledge, but also their ability to apply concepts to real-world scenarios, a variety of essay type of questions are asked in the US CMA exams. They include writing a memo, performing a calculation, comparing and contrasting certain concepts. Some questions will be simpler, while others may have multiple parts that require careful navigation, much like challenges faced in real-world scenarios. Here's a pro tip for you. To effectively prepare for the essay portion in the US CMA exam, practice with a wide range of essay questions and US CMA practice tests. Make sure your prep covers all of the exam topics, including financial statement analysis, corporate finance, internal control, and decision analysis. This comprehensive approach will help you become familiar with different question types and strengthen your ability to apply concepts in real-world scenarios. The exam is divided into 3 hours for multiple choice questions and 1 hour for essay section, with each essay question allotted 30 minutes. However, if you complete multiple choice section early, you will have extra time for the essay section. When considering extra time for essays, keep in mind the weight of each section. The multiple choice questions account for 75% of your total score. So, if you perform poorly here, it may be challenging or even impossible to make up the difference in the essay section. Be strategic with your time. If you finish the multiple choice section early and feel confident, use the extra time for essays. On the other hand, if you find the multiple choice questions to be difficult, take your time to answer them thoroughly before moving on to the essay section. Here's a tip to remember. Prioritize accuracy over speed in the multiple choice section, especially if you are unsure about certain questions. It's better to spend a little extra time on them than to rush and risk making avoidable mistakes. Unlike many exams that combine computer and manual grading, the US CMA exam relies on human graders only. To make their job easier and ensure your points are clear, answer each question logically using proper English, spelling and grammar, and even punctuation for that matter. This approach mirrors real-world scenarios where written communication is often shared with colleagues or even clients. While human graders can introduce some subjectivity, the benefit is that you have many opportunities to practice and refine your responses with real feedback. Here's a helpful tip to consider. On exam day, write your answers as if you are addressing a superior. Focus on clarity, logic, and proper grammar to make it easier for the human graders to follow your response. You earn points for providing relevant information, so even partial answers can get credit. Each essay question often has multiple parts, so it's crucial to answer each part thoroughly. Start by reading the question carefully to understand what's being asked, whether it's a comparison, a definition, or includes calculations. Organize your thoughts with bullet points or an outline for clarity. Once your ideas are structured, begin writing your answer. Remember, the more detailed your thought process, the more points you're likely to earn. But ensure that your response is clear and logical, as messy answers won't earn full credit. Here's a tip to consider. Use bullet points to organize your response. It helps convey your thought in a clear and logical way, making it easier for the graders to follow. And there you have it, 5 things that you need to know about the US CMA exam questions. To succeed, you will need to focus on both multiple choice and essay questions. And remember to manage your time and present your answers logically. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more US CMA exam tips and tricks. Drop your questions in the comments below and we'll be happy to answer them. Good luck with your US CMA preparation and we'll see you again soon in the next video.